Hi, it's silverkyle, and it's time to look at what I'm going to try to be completing in Q4 of 2020. That is October, November, and December of 2020. I have 3 months where I'm going to be trying to tackle things for my backlog. And this is by far the most stuff that I've put in one go. And last month I completed 2 things. Or last quarter I completed 2 things. Not last month. That wouldn't have been as bad. If I completed 2 things in a month, I'm doing pretty good for my backlog. There's no way that all of this is getting completed. But I think I did is that there's so many things that I'm interested in trying to complete right now that I wanted to kind of include everything, because I know that what will happen is I'll get interested in something and I'll try to complete that for a while, or I'll be doing that and busy with it, and then I'll see something else and I'll want to complete that afterwards. So I know that I know myself. I get sometimes I can't stop and I finish whatever I'm doing, or other times I get distracted by something else that I really want to get into and I stop halfway through whatever I'm doing and jump onto something else. So what I try to do is include all of those things that are old stuff that are in my backlog that I want to try to complete. I don't think even half of this stuff is going to get completed, considering I only did 2 in the last quarter, but a lot of the stuff I really want to get into, and some of this stuff isn't even in my backlog. I've completed these before numerous times, but I feel like it's going to happen, so I'm going to include it in my backlog because it's still old stuff and I'm going to be revisiting them. I'm screwed. So let's start into this because there's going to be a lot that I have to cover. All right, so video games. Let's look at the video games that I'm going to be trying to complete. Super Mario 3D All-Stars, which includes 64, Sunshine, and Galaxy. I honestly have no idea which one of these I'm going to try to complete. I don't know if that means all 3 of them, but I'm going to hopefully complete at least one of them and start another one in the next 3 months. Maybe all 3. That would be awesome if I honestly beat each 3 of these games once a month. I would be very, very happy with myself if that's the case. Probably not going to happen. Xenoblade Chronicles. I still haven't started this. I've played it on the Wii, but I haven't tried the Switch version yet, so I definitely want to try that out. I don't know if it'll happen. Story of Seasons. I'm actually quite a bit into this game, maybe halfway through, something like that. So I do feel that if I just push myself to complete this, I will be able to do that, definitely, because I am very much still enjoying it, and I do want to beat it. So that one, I feel the most confident. Actually, I do feel that I will get at least Super Mario 64 beat, and Story of Seasons. I really feel strongly about that. Next up, I put some movies and 1 TV show. So the 2 movies that I want to watch are Paul Newman's The Verdict. I recently bought this maybe a few months ago, so I really want to check that out because I've never seen it before. Same thing with Shazam. I don't know why it's taking me so long to watch this, because I think I really loved the trailers for this, the tone that they were going for. It's very different from all the other DC movies, and I really like the idea. I never really liked the idea of children, but what they do here is that it's played by an adult essentially when he's Shazam. So I'm kind of okay with that, and I think that whatever his name is, Zachary Levi or something like that. I might be completely wrong. Yeah, Zachary Levy, maybe. But yeah, I think that he's doing a pretty good job in the trailers anyway of portraying this character as playing himself as a child. Like I think it could be good. And last but not least, and I'm not really looking forward to this, but I feel like I have to do it because I picked it up for like $11 brand new, and that is True Detective Season 2. I've really heard that the show completely dipped. I mean, the first season was absolutely phenomenal, one of the best seasons of all time of any TV show, if you're just looking at specific seasons. And then obviously, I didn't expect this one to be on that level, but apparently it dips down even quite a bit from that first season. And it's a completely new cast and all that kind of stuff. So, but I'm still looking forward to it. Okay, I'm just going to quickly talk about the series that is entirely possible that I end up going over, and I've done this numerous times before, and I've finished reading it numerous times, but I feel like it could happen this month. So I'm just going to include them, and I'm only including the last 4 because that's the only 4 that I want to read, and that's the Harry Potter series. Anytime that I get in a little bit of a Harry Potter mood, I end up wanting to read these books. So, and I've read the first 3 maybe about a year ago or something like that, maybe 2 years now. So I really want, I don't want to read those ones again. My favorites start with, well, Prisoners of Azkaban is pretty good, but I've read that book numerous times. So I really want to dive in and read Goblet of Fire, The Order of the Phoenix, and I think that, I don't know which one's my favorite. It's either Order of the Phoenix or Half-Blood Prince. And then I don't know if I'll read the entire, like, all 4 books and finish it off with the Deathly Hallows, because the Deathly Hallows, half of it is good. The other half is just kind of okay. And the movies are horrible. Second movie's not as bad. Like part 2 isn't too bad. But the thing that made it for me for Harry Potter is them going to school. And them really not going to school at all in this one kind of lost a lot of its power. Because I want them in school. That to me is Harry Potter. I don't have enough room. I need to get a bigger table. That's really what I need to do. Okay, now we're going to be looking at, let's look at some books here. I started this not too long, or a few months ago, but I didn't continue it because I kept doing other stuff. But Night Passage, the first novel in the Jesse Stone series, I definitely want to keep finishing that. It's an easy read. It's okay. It's not nothing amazing, but it's an easy read, and it's fairly short too. The Hobbit, because I really wanted to read that, and I just haven't yet. And then Lord of the Rings, I would love to read, but because of everything else I'm adding here, I'm not including Lord of the Rings. It is right over here. I don't even know if, yeah, you can see it. But, I mean, we'll give it an honorable mention in case I start reading them by chance. So that kind of worked out. Next up that I want to read is The Tenant. I picked this up in August in some kind of book sale that Indigo Chapters was having. And also Elevator Pitch. I don't really know much about them, but I definitely want to dive into them. I'm just going to keep putting things on my person. Next up is, let's do it over here. Children of the Atom. This is X-Men Volume 1 Epic Collection, which includes, so it's the run of 1963 to 1966, and X-Men 1 to 23. I need to get into this because I need to get up to the point that I can read X-Men Volume 1, because X-Men Volume 2, I think, is coming out at the end of the year, I believe. Is it the end of the year? Is it November or December? I can't remember anymore. But I definitely want to read that. Next up is Crisis on Infinite Earths. This is the deluxe edition, so it's fairly sizable. And I've heard a lot about this. This is essentially for a lot of people where their DC starts. So that's where I want to go with, because it's in the middle of the 80s. It's kind of like a reboot for everything. So this to me is the perfect place to kind of start with DC and kind of go from there. Let's go with this, which is Volume 2 of Jeff Johns' Green Lantern run. I loved Volume 1. I can't wait to get more into this. This also includes Blackest Night, but I want to also read the actual Blackest Night Omnibus. Honestly, what might happen in terms of reading comic books this month is reading Volume 2 and Blackest Night, because Blackest Night is absolutely massive. Like, if you look at, if you compare them both, it's insane. That's, the Blackest Night is just huge. So I could see that happening, but I'm loving this run. And I honestly held off from reading Volume 2 just because I wanted to read it during this next 3 months, because I wanted to include it, because I know that I'll be reading it. At least Volume 2, probably a lot of Blackest Night as well. Depending on how good Blackest Night is, because I have no idea. If it continues being as entertaining as Volume 1 was from Jeff Johns' run, I'll go through these quite easily. I think Volume 2 will be. I don't know about Blackest Night. Volume 3 of Jeff Johns' run, just in case that I am able to read these two and move on to this one. It's entirely possible if I just absolutely devour it, kind of like I did the first one. So it is a possibility. And then, last but not least, and honestly I should include, oh, is this the right one? Yeah, it is. Okay. Attack on Titan Colossal Edition Volume 3. I'm hoping to really read this because I would like to do the fourth one as well, that I do own, but I didn't include it because I don't think I'm going to be able to read that much, because in just a few, I think next week, we're actually getting Volume 5 here in Canada. So I'm really looking forward to that, to have like 5 Colossal editions of Attack on Titan. Now I just need to read them. I loved the first 2. I just got to keep that going, you know? So that is it. That is everything that I'm going to be trying to complete within the next 3 months. It's not going to happen. I know it's not going to happen. But there's a few things in here that I can, if I really get into the mood of enjoying myself while I'm doing them, it's entirely possible that I could do quite a bit of this. I don't know how much, but there's a small chance. I need to retire, essentially, and then I could complete all this. So that's everything that I'm going to be trying to complete. Let me know in the comments below what you're working on from your backlog for the next few months. For the next few months, what are you going to be working on? It's so heavy because of the omnibus. All right, you have bearded in. Beardage.